Hi there, I'm Marisa and welcome to Marisa Home. Today we are going to make brown butter, cardamom, cinnamon rolls covered in brown butter cream cheese frosting. I'm really excited about this recipe. It took a little bit to develop, but I can't wait for the years to come to share this with my family and with yours. So let's get started.
First up is getting the wet ingredients prepped for the yeast. So we're going to add 3/4 cup water to a saucepan along with a 1/4 cup of whole milk. And then add a 1/2 cup of brown butter. We do have a tutorial up on how to brown butter, so I'll link that below so you can check it out. And then we're going to place this pot on the stove over medium-low heat and bring to about 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Watch the mixture and make sure it doesn't get too hot so you don't kill the yeast that will be added later. Let's go ahead and prep the dry ingredients. In a large mixing bowl, we're going to combine 2 cups of all-purpose flour along with 1 teaspoon of cardamom, 1/2 cup of sugar, and a teaspoon of salt. We'll mix this together and put that aside. Let's check out the water, butter, and milk. The temperature seems to be right on target. So let's add 2 teaspoons of sugar. Mix that thoroughly. 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast. And we'll mix this together thoroughly. And allow this to sit for approximately 10 minutes, allowing it to bloom. All right, this looks good. So let's set this aside and get our dry ingredients back out. And we'll combine the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients and mix this thoroughly. You can use a dough hook, this spatula like I'm using, or you can use a stand mixer, whatever works well for you. I don't have a stand mixer, so I'm doing this by hand. All right, so now let's get out the vanilla, and we are going to add a teaspoon of vanilla, mix that together, and we're gonna add in 2 eggs and mix this together thoroughly. This is the consistency we are looking for in the dough in order to add the 2 additional cups of flour. So we'll add 1 cup at a time and mix together. Cup number 2, and mix it until you need to put it on this flat surface to knead. So like I said, if you have a stand mixer, go ahead and start on a low speed and then amp the speed up in order to knead the dough. Like I said, I have to do this by hand because I don't have a stand mixer. When it becomes difficult to mix in the mixing bowl, go ahead and throw it onto a flat surface, have an additional 1/2 cup of flour, and start kneading for about 10 minutes or so, 5 to 10 minutes, until you've reached the desired consistency that you're looking for. You want the dough to be a little sticky and be able to pull away from the surface easily. When you make an indent into the dough and it bounces back, you know it's ready. It's now time to allow this dough to rise. So get out a large bowl, grease it with some butter. Everything's better with a lot more butter. And we're gonna allow this to rise for 1 to 3 hours until it's doubled in size. Cover with some saran wrap and a tea towel. And place it in a nice warm place. Let's move on to the filling. I'm gonna combine a half a cup of unsalted room temperature butter along with 1 cup dark brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Mix that all in a small mixing bowl until thoroughly combined. Now, there's probably a better way for me to do this, but you know what I'm saying. Just get it mixed. Get it done. All right, now that this has come together nicely, we'll set this aside and check on our dough and make sure that it's ready to build the cinnamon rolls. Okay, dough looks awesome. Look at that. This is my favorite part of making bread. So let's punch this down. Also one of my favorite parts. And then let's go ahead and put this on a flat surface. No need to flour the surface. Get out your rolling pin. And let's make this into a 16 by 12 inch rectangle. The dough will probably be about a 1/4 inch thick or so, maybe a little bit more. So however you need to get the rectangle, make it happen. And pull it like I'm doing here. Use just a rolling pin. I like to shape the dough just so it's even. And let's get out that filling mixture. Place a couple dollops all over the place. And then we're gonna spread it out all the way to the edge so we can get that butter, cinnamon, sugar goodness everywhere. All right, now that we've got the filling done, let's go ahead and roll lengthwise the cinnamon roll into itself. So we'll just go from the top and roll it down all the way to the bottom. And then we're going to cut this and place it into 12-inch cast iron skillet. So in order to cut the dough nicely, I'm using dental floss. And we're going to cut this into 8 roughly even pieces by placing the dental floss underneath and cutting in half, and then in half again for quarters, and half and half and half. You get it, until we get 8 cinnamon rolls. Look how pretty that is. I love the whole dental floss trick. Go ahead and cover the cinnamon rolls with a tea towel and allow it to rise for about 30 minutes. In the meantime, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And we'll go ahead and bake these up for about 25 to 30 minutes until golden brown. So let's make the brown butter cream cheese frosting. Have a half a cup of brown butter melted, 1 cup of cream cheese, a 1/4 teaspoon salt, and 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1 2/3 cup powdered sugar. Mix that together, and that would be the perfect topping for these cardamom cinnamon rolls. We do have a video for this frosting, and I'll link it below so you can check it out. The rolls are all done, nice and golden. They look so good and ready for some brown butter cream cheese frosting. So enjoy, have a cup of coffee, have this as dessert just because. Make some memories. Enjoy.